Hello and welcome to the FISHCAST. We are the world's first and foremost Fishmans podcast, even when the world is crumbling around us. We're recording this podcast on Wednesday, March 25th. We'll probably be releasing it at the beginning of April, so hopefully everyone is still alive by then. But as for right now, we still have plenty of Fishmans albums to talk about, and we're not really going to let the current pandemic affect our release schedule. So let's just get into the episode.
Woo.
Today we're joined once again by our homie from across the pond, Mr. One Chops. It's great to have you back
Hello.
on the show.
It's Jake.
Great to be back here. England is crumbling, so I'm trapped in my fridge for safety, so yeah.
Oh, nice. The first podcast recorded from the inside of a fridge.
It's a bit cramped, but it's alright. It'll be fine.
And yeah, like always, Chris and I are back as the hosts. We are in the same city right now, but recording from different houses because we are social distancing.
He is.
So, that's
I'm
fun.
fine being next to him.
Okay. Today, we are going to be talking about the third full-length Fishmans album, Yankees Holiday. It was released in 1993. It's probably the most, maybe upbeat and, chipper of their albums, so it's a good one to talk about in these trying times.
Is it?
Maybe, if it doesn't make you feel good. So let's get into some of the background on this album. So just a few months after King Master George got released in October of 1992, Fishmans got in the studio with a new producer named Zach, Z-A-K, all caps, and they recorded the song Walkin', which was released as a single in February of 1993. The single was pretty well received, so the band decided to make a few more songs with Zach. Their next collaboration was the song Ikarete Baby, which became the band's most popular song to date and really their only hit song in Japan. And for those who like to compare Radiohead and Fishmans, this has kind of led to Ikarete Baby being dubbed the creep of Fishmans.
To be fair.
So what do you guys think about that?
I've only heard one person, or maybe
Not better
two
than
people
Creep.
say that.
I'll say that.
It is better than Creed.
So we don't agree that Fishmans and Radiohead followed a similar career trajectory?
I think, I guess it's similar, but I think you can make that parallel with other bands too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Just sort of that, slow dive into experimentation. Yeah, it's not really unique to those two bands, but I kind of see where they're coming from with maybe having a bigger song that doesn't really represent their sound too well. But I think it's different here though because whereas Creep definitely doesn't represent, Creep doesn't represent Radiohead's later sound at all. But I think Ikarete Baby does a pretty good job of condensing those Fishmans elements into one track.
Fish.
We'll get into the actual track later, but I think that's just interesting that was their hit song. So, due to the pretty relative success of these two singles, the band completed an entire album with Zach off of their success. The album is titled Yankees Holiday. It released on July 21st of 1993, which is also my grandma's birthday.
Happy birthday.
So,
Woo.
happy birthday. She would not enjoy this album. She would probably call it Oriental music.
Oh,
but
Oh no.
hey, it's still a birthday present for her. This album is mainly notable for being the last appearance by guitarist Kensuke Ojima. So after this point, the band became a four-piece.
Oh man. And soon a three-piece. And
I'm pretty sure they never actually replaced him with a new guitarist, right? They had a couple different rotating live guitarists.
Yeah,
but,
you'd have Darts, but he was never an official member of the band, so I don't know if that really counts.
Yeah, Ojima was really kind of an important part of the band early on, so I feel this was pretty an important moment for them losing him.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Fishmans albums are kind of marked by certain members leaving. I mean, we have Ojima leaving here, and then with 98 later on, Kashiwabara leaving.
Yeah, it's crazy. No one wanted to be in the band.
The main point of Fishmans was everyone leaving. So this album is also notable for seeing the band sort of return to their dub foundations. We saw them kind of go all over the place on King Master George, but I think Zach's production takes the band in kind of a more restrained but also electronic direction.
Yeah.
They kind of stay rooted in a lot of their reggae and dub elements that made up Chappie, and they avoid kind of this insane sprawling of genres that was on King Master George.
That is true. That is what happened.
So I think that's all the background that I have. Is there any other sort of anecdotes or knowledge that you guys know about this album?
No. There isn't.
No. Chris sounds unenthused.
Sorry.
No, I think you pretty much covered it all. I think we're good.
All right, let's get into the cover art then. The cover of Neo Yankees Holiday features a very enthusiastic monkey next to a sculpture of the word Fishmans that I think is made out of like dirt or like clay.
I don't know. I don't know what they were going for, but more power to them.
They're in like a field. They're enjoying the summer breeze, and that's I don't know. Yeah.
Monkey.
It's very wholesome.
Do you like the cover?
It fits.
It fits, and I don't really. I don't know. I don't dislike it. It's just it's the cover that like really stands out as being like, oh, I don't know what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's the cover of theirs that's like the least Fishmans, if that makes sense. Like you could slap that cover on like a Primus album or something, and it would make sense. Yeah. Like it just doesn't feel very like distinctive, I guess I could say. It's probably like my second least favorite cover of theirs, right behind Chappie. Like I enjoy the monkey, and the inner sleeve of the album is really cool. You can look it up on like Discogs. It's basically just like candid pictures of Shinji and the boys, but in terms of the actual cover, I don't know, it just doesn't get me going.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like looking at it.
It doesn't make you want to listen to it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I also, like, being like a big like typographical nerd, I hate the font that they use for like the actual Neo Yankees title.
Oh my lord.
Neo Yankees Holiday title. Yeah, like it's very like retro, and that's like kind of a theme that we'll see with a lot of the sounds on this album. It's kind of like vintage, but not in like a pleasing way.
It's dated.
It's dated. Like when people say that something ages like milk, they're talking about Neo Yankees Holiday.
Prime example. Okay.
So yeah, do you guys want to get into the adjectives for the album?
Oh, let's do it.
Chops, if you want to go first.
All right, so
What
I've
letter
got
did you
three,
have?
as is standard. I had the letter L.
Oh.
So L is for languid, because this album is very summery. It's very like mellow. Obviously, this is what it's known for. It goes really well on a nice little summer day. I'll say that much. Then I've got lullaby.
Oh.
So
okay.
like, I mean, this is the album with Every Day, Every Night on it. It's got like, I don't know, the 9th track, which the Ramaji name escapes me at the moment, but it's got a lot of like, I don't know, I associate it with these like really mellow moments for the band, I guess. Even though that's not much of the songs really, but
I know what you mean.
and the melodies across it all kind of fit into that too, like have this like kind of lullaby simplicity to them in a way, but executed really well as is common for Shinji. And the last one I've got is limber. So like that kind of applies to pretty much every album they did, just because they are like a pretty limber, like not stiff at all band. So
Okay.
but like this one, I don't know, this one it applies to this as much as it does any of the other ones. So yeah, that's my three.
Pretty good adjective.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Chris, you want to follow that up?
All right, I will follow that up. I got the letter I. I for Fishmans. All right.
Can't spell Fishmans without I.
Well, you could. Okay. Anyway, my first adjective is incestuous. And
What? Chris.
I'm just playing. My first adjective is
God.
it's imaginative, because
Okay, that's
a
better.
little- I don't know why I did that. Okay, it's imaginative. It's a very fun album that you can imagine things to. My second adjective,
Like, I can imagine it being better.
we'll get there.
Oh,
We will
shit.
get there. My second adjective is inspiring, because if it doesn't inspire you to go out, do things like in the middle of summer, it'll at least inspire you to listen to a better album. And my third adjective, look, I love this album. Don't believe me. My third adjective, I like how I say that. My third adjective is inferior, because this is my least favorite Fishmans album. That's all I got to describe Neo Yankees Holiday with. There you go.
All right, those are valid.
Thanks. Sorry, I love Fishmans. It's okay.
All right, and I got the letter J, so my first adjective is jaunty, which is defined as having or expressing a lively, cheerful, and self-confident manner. So, like I said before, this album is like the most outwardly joyous Fishmans album, I think. Tracks like Walkin' are undeniably jaunty. And another thing that I see a lot with this album is people saying that it's great to bike to.
Oh,
I can't really relate because I don't own a bike, but I sort of understand where they're coming from, just like strolling or like moving through the world.
I like that.
Have you guys biked to this album?
I know Chops has, right?
I did the other day, yeah, on a really rainy day actually.
Did it still fit?
It still fit. It kind of like brought the summer inside my headphones, I guess. That was, I don't know, it made it a lot like nicer to.
There you go, that's nice.
That
So
sounds
background
like a
that
quote
horrible.
that they should like write on the album, like Neo Yankees Holiday. It'll bring the summer inside your headphones.
Oh man, if it were like 1993, that'd be perfect.
So yeah, it's jaunty. I think that sort of goes along with like limber, like it's just like moving a lot and it's just like in motion. My second
sure.
adjective was jocular,
Oh.
which means like humorous or playful. While King Master George featured a lot of like absurd, like ridiculous comedy, and Neo Yankees is much more like straightforward with its humor. Like a lot of these songs are kind of just goofy in a very like playful or slightly cartoonish way. And the vibe is kind of reflected through the dumb-looking monkey on the cover.
Stupid monkey.
100%.
Yeah, like I don't know how much of it like was intentional. Like King Master, the humor was definitely intentional. Here, I think it's just kind of like funny because it is. And then my final adjective is juiceless because
excuse
this
me?
album doesn't have any juice in it.
I think it's got plenty of juice. I think it has too much juice. It needs to calm itself
I said
down.
that this album, it could be a bit more fleshed out and interesting. If King Master George was a massive juicy steak, then this album is like an overcooked piece of chicken.
Oh. We're
Damn.
going way too hard on this album.
It's got no juice. Well, I like that we all sort of had an adjective that was a little bit more critical of the album,
That's true.
which is good.
I'd say it's got all the juice but none of the sauce.
Oh.
Oh yeah, okay.
Man.
Like
I
this
like
is
that
like one of
more.
those juicy ice lollies, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not British, so
So it's like no substance,
Oh.
basically. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Do you guys have Calippo? Anyway.
No.
I don't think so. Oh man, cultural
My bad, my
differences.
bad.
When it comes to comparing Fishman songs to food, we're never gonna stop. So we love it.
Out
Yeah.
of all three of us, I think Chops is the best
the way.
at that.
This is true.
Oh shush! You're making me blush.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
So I think that's all of the intro stuff that we need, unless there's anything that we haven't said. If you guys want to get into the track by track.
Let's get into the track by track.
Do it. So the first song on the album is Running Man. I think the album gets off to a great start. This track opens with some really cool, like, chanted vocals from Shinji, and it's probably one of the first, like, dream poppy-ish songs by the band.
I think so. That's safe to say.
It's very sweet and just, like, pleasant, and it definitely encapsulates, like, the vibes of the cover.
Oh, for sure. Like, it encapsulates those vibes without being annoying. The album doesn't get there yet.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I think, like, the dub
Uh-oh.
elements of the song are really cool and, like, wacky. Like, it feels like this, like, little Morse code bleep or something, like, rattling away in the left channel instead of just, like, a normal bass line.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I really like the, like all the background vocals. I don't know if it's all just Shinji, but, like, you know, the harmonies with the chorus when it first comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that whole chorus, just like how it's wordless, it's just like it's just very like, it's lovely. Near the end of the track, we get a brief appearance from this very obnoxious organ synth that will quickly become a defining feature of this album. It sounds like the kind of organ that they play during a baseball game, like during the 7th inning stretch. And I was thinking that it might be intentional, because the album is called Neo Yankees Holiday, and we know that baseball is really popular in Japan. So the band is obviously aware of the Yankees baseball team. I don't really think that they're using the word Yankee to mean like a northerner in the Civil War.
think
So I think they're like consciously trying to replicate that sort of like summery baseball game feeling here. Do you guys find that to be true?
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much of it is intentional, like, you know, like you said, but it at least works. It puts me in a very specific place and mood. So whether or not it's
Like
intentional.
a baseball stadium.
Yeah, basically. I mean, good on them. Is this a concept album about being at a baseball game?
Well, and that's true because I mean, I said that like King Master George was very like Nipponese or kind of like very inherently Japanese, and I think this might be the most like Americanized Fishmans album.
Oh, that's why it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this song just kind of fades out abruptly. Another big difference between Neo Yankees and future Fishmans albums is that like at its heart, this is like a mainstream pop album. It's not really interested in taking super big risks or playing around with like longer song lengths.
It's true.
Yeah. Does that impact your guys' enjoyment of it?
Okay, look, this might be the last like rag I make, but maybe it
It won't be.
enhances maybe it enhances my enjoyment because all the tracks are pretty short. So less time spent with, Fishman's tracks.
This isn't Chappie, where every song is like 6 minutes.
It's true.
This is true, yeah.
That's one
Yeah.
upside, I guess.
I can see how it definitely just flies by. So if you don't really enjoy what's going on, you don't have to sit through like a 9-minute long future and pray that it ends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, part of me kind of wonders that like if their radio success in 1993 like caused them to not like sell out, but sort of feel like pursuing music like this was more like important than experimenting.
I think.
Because this album does have a lot of like, I just wonder how much they had that in mind when they were making the album.
You wonder.
I mean, Orange is pretty poppy, even more than this, I'd say. Like, so maybe just for a couple years they were like, let's try and make it pop all the
And then
way.
they gave up.
I wonder,
Then they were like,
because I would say Orange is more like widely accessible poppy. I feel like, then again, I don't know what the culture was like in Japan in the early 90s, but I feel like this is so saccharine and like so specifically like cartoonish. Like it's poppy, but I feel like Orange is poppier in like a more mature way. So I don't know if that had like
Orange was poppier in like the kind of like Shibuya K way that was popular in Japan around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much of that makes a difference, but there's a distinction to be made.
So yeah, speaking of pop songs, the second track on the album is Ikareta Baby or Crazy Baby, their huge radio single. This one opens with this awesome synth lead that's very psychedelic and tasty.
It's the best synth lead I've ever heard.
Are you willing to die by that statement?
No, I'm not, but it's a really good synth lead.
The Weeknd, Blinding Lights, that's the best synth lead I've ever heard.
Well, this isn't the Weekend cast, okay? It's the FISHCAST.
I feel like this track is almost like an update on the formula that made Doyobi no Yoru so good. Like, it's so strongly rooted in like the pop songwriting and like the dub wonkiness, and like added to the electronic elements that Zach brings to the production. It really has this cool like trip hoppy like 90s feeling.
Oh yeah, it's dated without feeling dated, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Wow, good on them. Wonderful track.
I find it kind of strange though that this was Fishman's big radio hit. Like, it's very catchy, but it almost feels less immediate than some of their other tracks.
Maybe that's
Do you
why.
guys
Maybe
find
it's
that?
just like less obnoxious than some of the like,
Oh,
quote unquote
yeah.
like poppier tracks. I don't know if this was just, easier to digest for like most people. It doesn't come across as like too silly or too immature. Like, I don't know.
So this is totally anecdotal, but like a few months ago I tested this out on my mom. Like, she was cooking dinner and I played Baby Blue, Doyobi no Yoru, and Ikareta Baby in a row.
Yeah.
And she seemed pretty down with like the first two songs, but by the time it got to Ikareta, she said that it was annoying and she told me to turn it off. So I don't know if that's any sort of
The true
evidence.
test.
But I just thought that was strange because I don't know what about that track would have. But I guess maybe for a Western audience, it's a little bit less immediate, is what I'm saying. Like in Japan, there might be different things that are considered like pop music.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'm not the authority to say like what's, good pop music for, the Japanese audience in 1993. Not for me to
This
say.
is true. You were not
I wanna
even
say-
a fetus.
Oh man.
What were you saying,
I
Chops?
feel like I feel like the lyrics come into it maybe, like, I can see how, because being English, not knowing what any of it means, only hearing the word baby, like, that's not gonna, I mean, that's one thing, but knowing what the lyrics mean kind of, like, endeared the song to be more, I feel like. It, like, kicked it up a couple notches for me, because the lyrics in this are really, like, oddly, like, sweet and endearing and kind of thoughtful in a weird way, so I can see how that would have added to, like, the popularity in Japanese society, I guess.
Maybe. I don't actually know the lyrics, so I know. I
Yeah,
kind
for
of
sure.
know
No,
the chorus.
I wrote one down. The chorus goes, "You are my sweet baby, and I am your crazy man." So I thought that was kind of. It's just like a sweet love song. So it definitely, I agree with Chops. It makes sense that sort of like the lyrics might have been what appealed it to a wider audience, especially because like a lot of other Fishmans lyrics seem to be a bit more sort of abstract or dreamlike, and those might have not had the same like mass appeal that this song did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys like know how big of a hit this was? I couldn't really find any chart info for it online. Like I looked up the Japanese pop charts for 1993, but it only had like 18 songs on it, and Ikareta wasn't one of them.
Maybe it's all a lie. This wasn't a big song at all.
Not a bloody clue. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And
Huh.
like even
Well,
on Spotify, it doesn't show up in like the top 5 tracks. I think it's like number 10, which is weird because I know Baby Blue is so high up there because of like its placement on everybody's playlists. I don't know if you remember that, but like everyone's Discover playlist had
yeah.
Baby Blue. But you would still think that like Ikareta Baby had like a big enough impact to at least be in the top 10 or the top 5, and it's not.
Maybe that's because most people that are listening to them on Spotify are like from the West, and people in Japan aren't really interested in going back and listening to like this dated song from 1993 anymore.
That
so it's
could
kind of
also
just
be
gotten
it, yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
But since the song was so popular, there are several cover versions available on Spotify. So I won't talk too much about them here because we might go into all of the Fishmans cover songs on a later episode. But there's a really cool version by this young Japanese artist named Serena Motola. It's super tender. It has like really good trumpet parts, and it just came out like last year, I think. So you should go check it out.
I still don't think I've checked that out.
okay.
I talked to you about the one that I really like, but that's different. You don't really like that one, so.
Oh, well, who's it by though? I forgot.
Oh my god, what's her name? Hold on. Give me a quick second to look this up because this is very important.
Yeah, there are like plenty of cover versions on Spotify though, so it definitely had like an impact, and it's considered like sort of like a classic 90s Japanese song, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It was Mizuki Ohira. That is her name.
Okay, yeah, no, that one's really cool. Like, it's kind of like electronic. I don't really like it because she kind of messes with the rhythm too much, like in the verses. It's a bit more like swingy than the
Yeah, I
original one.
guess. That's cool. That's fine. Okay,
Either way,
let's get back
listen
to
to
the
both of
actual
them.
track. Yeah.
Is this in either of your guys' top threes? It doesn't quite crack mine, but it's really close.
Actually, no, I haven't really thought about that. It might. It might.
I haven't thought about it.
You know what? Just to be safe. I don't know.
You
We'll
can
get there
think
when we
about
get
it, and
there.
we'll come back at the end. Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need to know now. Yeah, give me time to think.
Cool. Anything else on this track? It's just good. It's
really
a
good
radio
track.
hit. It's
Um,
nice.
Yeah, I think that cut back up.
I think the band has like a lot of different versions of it too. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, did they really? You can go.
Yeah. I mean, they've got like on O Mountain. There's like 2 different versions of it. I feel like. Oh no, it's just Piano Baby.
Yeah.
There's all sorts. There's that one Nia Bingi Baby from their greatest hits. Like, I almost made a RYM list called Ikareta Babies Ranked and just like
Oh my
ranked
God.
all of them. I never finished it, but maybe I should finish it now.
Where
I don't
was
know.
Wedding
The
Baby?
one that I really like is Wedding Baby, yeah.
Yeah, Wedding Baby.
Yeah, no.
No, Nia Bingi Baby is something else. That's a wild sound for a recording to have.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Really like gloopy and cool.
Is that on one of the 2 compilations? Like, you know, with like the...
Yeah, it's on like Kuchu, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't...
We should. Sorry.
No, I haven't really gotten to some of the deeper cuts on there. Like, yeah, I know like all the tracks on the first side, but some of the tracks on the second side I don't really remember too well.
Oh yeah, we will touch on all the babies at some point, and then we might even rank them. That'll be a future episode.
Don't say that.
We'll bring you. Oh yeah.
Could have phrased that
I
better.
phrased that in a bad way. Well, we will
Wow.
discuss them, and we'll bring Chops back on to help us rank the babies.
Okay, let's...
Moving on to the third track, Smilin' Days, Summer Holiday. there is a longer version of this track which would be released later and become way more popular, but I honestly prefer this version, which I know is a hot take. This one's like it's super like hazy and weird, and just like the mixing and the stuff going on here is incredible in my opinion.
Was the other one more popular, do you think?
Well, it's more popular among like Fishmans fans in the West, I know.
I guess, yeah, that is the one they
talking
performed
about
live.
the remix?
The longer version.
The one that's on the Go Go Round This World single. That one.
Yeah.
That one's really cool. But I guess for a while, I preferred that one because it was more interesting. Like, I know this one's more like wacky, but I don't know, there's something about the other one that grabbed me. However, after continued re-listens of this track, it's definitely grown on me a lot. Like, I originally thought it was too aimless and didn't do anything for me, despite all like the wacky stuff happening. But I've been able to connect to it a little bit better recently. So that's good. Yeah. Cool track.
Yeah, like there's some trumpet here, which is very cool. It's kind of buried in the mix. And there's also like this very cool guitar part near the middle before this big breakdown, where the guitar just like repeats this wonky ass riff, and then like all the sound cuts out.
There's that spammy trumpet sample, which is interesting.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's clearly just being played on a sampler.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But like everything in the song is just really like drugged up and psychedelic and like fucky. It sounds like pretty much nothing else in the band's catalog up until this point, and it doesn't really match up with the feeling of like the song title or the album cover. Like
Yeah.
it sounds less like a sunny fields and more like a distorted, like polluted city street or something.
I don't know if I'd go that hard, but yeah, I think, like when you hear the title "Smiling Day, Summer Holiday," you want something that isn't what the track is. It's more like it kind of feels like a really cold like evening, you know, somewhere out, like just outside the city, rather than a summer holiday. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, great track.
So you guys prefer the other version, but you still enjoy this, right?
Yeah, at least me personally. I don't know about you.
I prefer another version, definitely. There's another version I prefer more. I'll say that.
Is there how many
Okay.
versions of the track right now? 'Cause I know
There's a live version.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
I knew what he was talking about.
Okay, I guess I should know, but I just consider that in the same vein as the longer one. But yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah, it is the same pretty much. It's just
Just shorter and better.
defo.
This is honestly like my second favorite track on this album. If the whole album sounded this like daring and insane, I think I would enjoy it more.
Really. I don't know if it.
This one's grown on me so much.
Yeah, I think this one's like somewhere in the middle for me. I used to consider it like one of my bottom tracks, but yeah, it's not quite my top three, but not quite my bottom three.
Yeah, I
either.
think I've seen a lot of people kind of hating on this track just because they're so used to the longer version that would come out later. But I don't know, I think this really has some like cool details that are worth listening to. And there's a really cool lyric in here that I saw. It was like how a puppy and a child are understandably good friends. I'm sure the person with a foreign hairstyle is thinking the same thing.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what he's talking about.
I know exactly. Yeah. That's you, Chris. You're the person with a foreign hairstyle.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen Chris's hair chops? It's wild.
I never have.
I don't,
Oh.
Yo,
It's-
send me a picture later.
I don't think he
It's
even
very
knows what I
floofy.
look like. I don't even think he knows what I look like. I hope not.
Yeah. Anything else on that track? It's pretty short, pretty brief.
Yeah, no, I think we.
When it cut off at the end the other day, I genuinely thought like my MP3 of it had corrupted.
Oh.
Oh yeah. It's very abrupt.
It's such
yeah.
an abrupt ending. It makes no sense.
Good for them.
A lot of the tracks on this album either have very abrupt endings or just like kind of brief fade outs that come from out of nowhere. And that's what leads me to say that it's kind of like undercooked. Like I honestly wish a lot of these tracks were a bit longer and just had more time to like play around.
That's true, but well, you know, it is what it is.
Either way.
It's already 50 minutes. So
Yeah.
fine by me, I
It
think.
is 50. I never realized how long it was.
Oh.
50 minutes.
It just flies by.
Yeah, I guess so. Despite the fact that like I don't care for it as much as like their later albums, it doesn't really feel like a long album. So good for them.
So the fourth track is where things start really slowing down for me. This track is called Every Day, Every Night.
Every day, every night. Every day, every night. 漂う毎日のそのわけ
The first 3 tracks were like really cool, I thought, but this one, it's just like so stripped back and simple. There's not much for me to grab onto.
I'm also not a huge fan of Shinji's voice on this. I don't hate it at all. I still quite like the track, but I don't know. I used to like it a lot more back in the day. I used to like it's more of like a ballad. It's slow, it's stripped back, but I don't know. Now it doesn't really do much for me. And Shinji doesn't really satisfy me the way I want him to, if that makes any sense.
It's like you've been in like a 30-year marriage with him and you're getting tired of it.
Yeah, you could say that. Something like that.
It's just a dub song and not much else. The melody isn't super impressive to me, which is one of the things that managed to elevate the best tracks on Chappie. Like, those were super, like, rudimentary, but they still had really strong, like, melodies. I'm thinking of, like, Hikoki or even Future. So I'm not saying that I hate it. It's pretty pleasant, and, like, I would put it on and listen to it, but I don't know about this one.
I don't know. Nothing really stands out for me. How about you, Chops?
So like, it's definitely one that we're listening to. Didn't really excite me that much, but pretty much with almost every single Fishman song, even if it's like kind of boring, it's still Shinji. He's still like got an amazing way with melody, so like it's hard for him to completely bore me, I guess. And a couple things like make this that little bit better than it would be. Like the piano adds a lot. I think the little piano licks that come in.
Yeah.
Kind of elevate it a bit, honestly. And always, from the first time I heard it, the way he pronounces the title always was really endearing to me, so there's that.
Yes.
Like, really putting like a B syllable in it,
yeah.
like every day.
Yeah, that is interesting, because I know in Japanese, like, the V sound and the B sound are, like, analogous.
Yeah.
So
Analogous.
That's why this happens.
Yeah.
It's like, if you look at, like, the movie Avatar with, like, the blue people.
With the blue
it's like
people, yeah.
Avatar. Yeah, like
Avatar.
yeah, it's very strange, but I mean that's just because in the West we wouldn't really think that those two sounds are similar, but they kind of are.
I guess so. Either way, I kind of agree with Chops the same. Like, I don't actually dislike this track, but it might be like near the bottom for me now. Like, there's stuff that does elevate it a little bit, but doesn't. Even though it is, I do enjoy a lot of their slower tracks. This one doesn't really have anything for me to grab onto personally. So,
yeah, I think what saves this for being like my least favorite track on the album is that it comes like early on. Like, it's the first track here that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
If this came like near the end, I would probably like despise it because I'd be like, okay, like just get on with it. But it has the virtue of coming early on.
I guess so. I guess that's something.
Cool. The 5th track is Tsukaranai Hito, or A Tired Person.
疲れない人を呼んでるさ疲れない人を待ってるさ疲れない君を呼んでるさ疲れない君を待ってるさ
This track opens really abruptly with like some hand claps, chanted vocals, and this really like spacey synthesizer sound that pops in.
Yeah, it's kind of like disco influence, I would say. It's like not it's not a disco song, but it's that you can definitely kind of hear it. You can kind of hear where they're coming from.
That fucking baseball organ comes back, and then there's also like a vocoder. Like, I think this is the only Fishman song with a vocoder, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't really want to think about it, but yeah, it might be.
This track isn't like forgettable. Like, I think Every Day Every Night's problem is that it's like kind of forgettable. This one is definitely memorable. It's just kind of like cheesy. It's way too like chipper for its own good, and I think like the space synth and the vocoder sections don't really gel with the band's vibe.
Maybe, I guess another, it's chipper, and it's got energy, it's kind of got that, like, disco groove, but at the same time, it doesn't, like, hit at all. Like, it doesn't groove very hard. Like, it grooves, but it doesn't groove in the right way. And it
grooves on paper, but, like, in practice, it's not.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, like, the production. I think the production on this album lends itself to tracks like Ikareta Baby, where they're, like, electronic, but they're still, like, kind of mellow, kind of like trip hop influence. But I think with a track like this, it's a little too like sparse, and it's not like, I don't know, it doesn't have the weight that I would want in a track I don't know. It's just a nitpick. I don't really hate the track, but it's probably my least favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh.
It's down there.
I said that too. I wrote down that this is one of the worst Fishman songs. It's just because like it feels cheesy in a way that is kind of forced. Like it feels like they're making a song for like a sci-fi movie. And like it's not like they're genuinely evoking an atmosphere. It's like they're just using these stock sounds that they feel like will evoke it because they're already associated with that vibe, if that makes sense.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it one of the worst Fishman. Well, I guess if it's the least favorite song on my least favorite album.
Yeah.
It just feels harsh saying
Then that would be one of yeah.
I definitely am the one who likes it the most then out of us three.
Ooh.
Where do
Give
you-
us your hot takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a contrarian.
Ooh.
I don't know. I just think the recording is like, I don't know. The whole sound of this is like kind of dazzling in a way. I feel like,
All right.
which kind of fits the lyrics. Like there's a line about looking up in the stars and seeing someone's face there or something.
Interesting.
So I don't know. From the start, I always really loved this one. I don't know why. Like it's just like a big jolt of energy after every day, every night.
It is true. It does
One
pick
thing,
things
like-
back up, which I think is nice. But
Yeah. But no, it's not like the hardest grooving thing ever, that's for sure. But it kind of feels like a really nice like karaoke session, I guess. With some I don't know.
okay. Yeah, that's fair. Like,
Instrumentally, it feels like a karaoke song that you'd find on like YouTube, where it's like not the original instrumental, but it's like they've kind of just remade it.
Oh yeah,
GarageBand.
No, I hear it.
Ray.
Yeah, I hear it.
I actually
Okay, I hate it now. 0.5 stars. Fuck it.
no, like I agree with what Chops is saying. It's just I don't know if I appreciate it as much as him. I will say this though. I just remembered my actual least favorite song on the album. So I take back what I said. This is the second.
Yeah, I was pretty sure this wasn't. Yeah, okay.
I just I
it has been
forget.
saved.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and I agree with Chops that it comes at a good point in the album. Like putting it after Every Day, Every Night kind of gives the album like this jolt of energy. Even if I don't enjoy it, it's definitely memorable, and it's a song.
Good song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next track
It's a song.
is Just Thing. This is a very cool title. I always assumed it was like a mistranslation of just think, as in like just think about what you're doing, but I don't know if that's actually what it is.
Maybe it's in reference to like, how you have like things that are just and unjust. This thing.
Oh, like
is
a just thing. Oh, okay.
Or maybe
Like how this song is just because it's good.
that, or like maybe they're just saying like it's just the thing. It's I don't know.
Okay.
You try. I don't know.
This is like a straight up like psychedelic trip hop song with some really cool horn melodies laid over the top. It's also one of the few times when the band sounds like dangerous or like imposing. They normally kind of sound like laid back, but here it sounds like they're on the prowl.
Kinda. I also really appreciate the very piercing, high-pitched noises that come in like halfway through the track. That they just kind of happen. Like they're not playing any melody or anything. It's just these noises on top of everything. You're like, oh, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Yeah, I really.
It's chaotic, like
Yeah. Chaotic.
yeah. The track maintains like a really solid dub groove beneath all the chaos though. Like it's kind of just like a straight up funk jam. The guitars sound like they're made out of liquid.
It's true. I know, Chops, don't you have a bit of a problem with the sound of the drum break that they use? I remember reading that in your review. That you didn't really like that.
Yeah, my opinion's changed a lot. So this one, like, I don't know, it grew on me a lot. Like, I don't know why I didn't like that drum break before, but now I'm just like, well, this sounds like New Jack Swing or something. It's another experiment for them, and between you and me, I can imagine the gang playing like basketball to this one.
Okay. Did you?
Yeah, so we got baseball, we got basketball.
This is a
When is there
sports
gonna be
album.
like
Yeah.
football, soccer track on here?
Chops,
Yeah,
did you mention
Sportsman.
that it sounds like New Jack Swing? Is that what I heard?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
That is
It
what
kind
you
of does. I can hear it. Yeah.
I guess so. If I
very, like-
squint really hard, I could probably see it. My voice just cracked.
Neo Jack Swing.
All right. I think
Whoa.
that.
Just those drums.
So yeah, everything just kind of goes insane at the very end of this track, like Chris said. There's just like some high-pitched noises coming in, and this is another one that kind of just abruptly ends. I think this is like one of the highlights of the record. It keeps the middle section of the album from being totally bogged down by these like generic dub songs. And this was just like a very insane, very rambunctious track.
It is. I love the groove that's like, as you said, there's just this consistent groove underneath all the chaos, and I don't know. It's like I said about Ikareta Baby, it's dated, but like in a good way. It's
Yeah.
it sounds like the 90s, but I think it pulls it off really well in like a really nice way.
There is a live version of this track that would come out a few years later that Eric Andre actually sampled on his, I think it came out last year, right? It's that Blarf album. It's like a Plunderphonics album. The cover is him dressed up like Ronald McDonald. And the first sound that you actually hear on the album is sort of a loop from the live version of Just Thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
So,
cool.
yeah, because of that, like last week I reached out to Eric Andre on Instagram, and I also emailed his like PR person, and I invited him on the podcast, and I have not heard anything back.
You can talk about Orange with us.
Eventually, I told him, I'm like, you sampled Just Thing, and it was like the first thing that you sampled on your album, so clearly you're like a big Fishmans fan. Because like, this is a pretty obscure track, and he didn't even sample the album one, he sampled like a live version. So like, he must know his Fishman shit. I want him on here. I want him talking to us about this band.
Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next track so that Ray doesn't keep talking about Eric Andre.
Eventually, like 5 years from now, Eric will come on the show. Eric, if you're listening, come on the show.
I love you, Eric
Okay,
Andre. I've never seen your
seventh track
show.
is Taiheiyu, or Pacific Ocean. This one is strange. We opened with the sound of waves, like literally, and then there's a very steady piano beat that comes in, and so we hit this like huge crescendo where Shinji just starts wailing. So it's kind of like a weird like power ballad, glam rock, theater song kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know, on paper that sounds like an excellent track. It sounds like a track I would love. But I think
Damn, go on.
there's again, I don't think there's any Fishman song that I like outright dislike, but this one comes kind of close. I still kind of like it because it's a really interesting track. At the same time, though, I think the production holds it back. I think Shinji, what he's doing is kind of cool for a little bit, but after a while, it kind of just it kind of grates just a little bit. I don't know. I would almost consider it a failed experiment. But
Chris.
not completely. I think it works enough so that I don't hate it. But also, this isn't really a problem, but I do notice that they use that quote-unquote epic chord progression. It goes down to like the minor 7th, the minor 6th, and it goes right back up. And it's just like, okay, I've heard this before. I don't know. Just fine. It's a track. My least favorite Fishman's track, I think, that I can.
Wow, you know, I can see people hating with it, but I kind of fuck with it. Like, if they always made music that sounded like this, I could see this feeling really generic. But it's so different from everything else they've done. Like near the end of the track, Shinji is just doing like this prolonged groan over the guitars, and it sounds like he's drowning in the ocean.
Yeah.
So
like,
it's just like
it's.
I feel like it has some novelty value, even if you don't like enjoy it as a song.
Yeah, for sure. And I can kind of get along with it. I never skip it or anything. I don't despise the track. I don't know. There's something about it doesn't really get to me. So Chops, I know you have some strong opinions on Taiheiyu. If you want to express those, go right ahead. Be my guest.
Well, I will be your guest. A lot of things have changed since I first heard this album, but this has not changed. This song always was terrible to me. Like, I've always skipped it and left it off my phone.
Wow.
That's not changed at all. I mean, it is different from the rest of the stuff they did, and it is in good humor, I think. But you don't record vocals like that and be serious, I'll say. But no, this is definitely like my least favorite Fishmans song. I can't even really think of anything that comes close, other than like some random remix from some B-side or something.
Even then, I feel like that
Damn.
would have more merit than whatever this track was.
Wow, I guess I'm the one that likes this track the most then. I
for
definitely
sure.
agree. I agree with Chris that like the intense emotion and like epicness of the track is kind of unearned. Like, especially in terms of like how the album flows. Like this track just pops out of nowhere and it fades away before it can really make a lasting impact, but it's acting like it's like the grandest statement ever.
Which might be like a bit like
It's a
cheeky.
joke, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I looked at the lyrics and I'm pretty sure this track is either about surfing or it's like a criticism of American politics. Like some of the lyrics are the so-called freedom guy. I went to America, dizzy, dizzy, let's do it. Going out to sea, gnawing with bananas. So he's sort of like, wow, like so-called freedom, but there's also lyrics about surfing. So I don't know what the song is about, but it might
Charlie
be
don't
like
surf.
a punk rock like manifesto or something. I don't know. It's very cool though, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's you know what I can say about the track definitively.
What?
It is the 7th track on the 1993
Oh
album
my
The
God.
Yankees Holiday.
Yeah, no, I think like if they released a whole album like this, I would not like it as much. But just it's a footnote, and I like these little genre experiments, and
It's cool.
it's
I
so
appreciate them
over the
trying.
top that I get something out of it. I get more out of it than I do out of like a lot of the nameless like dub tracks who don't really have an identity.
Okay, whatever.
Like the next track, Paradise, the 8th
Excuse me.
track on the album.
Oh no.
Ray, you better not have any hot takes. on this.
So we're sort of keeping up with that tropical theme, like Pacific Ocean, Paradise. This one has like a bit of an island vibe, but it opens right away with that goddamn organ, and I hate it.
Ray, okay. Let me tell you how I feel about the track. I for a while I didn't really know what it sounded like. Like I had listened to the album once or twice before, but today, because I didn't actually like listen to this album until like earlier this morning, Paradise came on, and oh man, it grooved so hard. I went and I picked up my tips at another store, and I got back in the car and I was on Paradise. It started and I was like, this is wonderful. I don't know, I haven't listened to this track a lot before. I know the whole like offbeat guitar thing. It's like a reggae staple, but I think on this track, like there's a lot of instruments playing on the offbeat, and I don't know, it's just got this nice groove going for it. I really like what Shinji's doing. There's these nice the keyboard touches that I really like. I don't know, there's just a lot going for this track. It's wonderful. It's like, I can tell you disagree, and I'll let you continue, but I just wanted to.
Oh, I don't
You
really
know.
have anything to elaborate on. I dislike it for all the reasons that I dislike every day, every night. Like, it's just kind of boring to me. The one thing in this track that I think is actually really cool is that synth melody. It's very
yeah.
beautiful. But in terms of the actual song, like, I just feel like I've heard this song by this band like 20 times by this point, between Chappie and some stuff on here. Like, there's nothing really new or worthwhile. And yeah, it suffers from like appearing so late in the track list, I think, because it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're right. Like it doesn't do anything new. I just think, with what it is, it does a good job at being a nice little dubby jam.
Yeah, Chops, what do you think about this one?
Paradise is one that I've cooled on a bit recently, but when I was just now coming back to it, I've realized this is one of the few ones of theirs that I like the lyrics to more than the actual music, which is pretty rare. I mean, Shinji is definitely at this point one of my favorite lyricists despite language barrier, but
Yeah.
this is like something I actually got kind of chills while translating it. I don't know why. I just really like the imagery in various parts of this, like the two people on the very wide sofa. Like all the stuff about the amazing dance. I don't know. The things about like the two cities, just I don't fully know what they mean by any of it, but it's really striking and kind of like notches the song up way more than the actual music of it does. I don't know why. I mean, the music is good. It's a nice groove, but I don't know. Something about the words kind of kick it up for me a bit.
It's interesting. That might
And
be one of the first
that's my-
cases of this happening with us. I don't know of any track that by Fishmans where I prefer the lyrics over the music. Mostly because most Fishmans tracks, I don't know the lyrics to.
This is true. But yeah, no, I agree with Chops. Like, I think this, I looked at the lyrics for this track. I didn't really choose any ones in particular, but the whole thing definitely had that sort of like abstract, sort of dreamlike quality of a lot of Shinji's lyrics. So I think it's a highlight of that. If we're looking for positives in the track, I'll take it. You know?
Okay, that works.
Cool. The 9th track is called Amaku Arukenayo, or I Can't Walk Very Well. I think this title is really funny given that a song called Walkin' appears just 2 songs after this. So I think this sort of like 3-song stretch near the end of the album is like a mini like concept album. So like in this track, Shinji is unable to walk. In 1, 2, 3, 4, he learns how to walk, and he's finally able to like show off his new skills in walking.
Oh, that's so
you
awesome.
wanna
Like, a nice
view it
little,
like that.
It's a sweet.
Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4 definitely has a vibe where it's sort of like you're learning something or like you're going through the motions, and this one is just like a bit more downcast because he can't walk. This track was written by Kensuke Ojima, not Shinji. So, if that
might be why.
means anything, might be why it's so bad.
I don't think so. Again, as you know, with me, there's no bad Fishman's track except for the 7th track. But I also don't have much to say about it. It's a nice little track.
This is my least favorite song on the album, and I don't know if it's because of like this song. I think it's more about the placement. Like, I wasn't too hot on Paradise, and this right after Paradise is just too much for me. Like, this track is overlong and it's just too slow, and it's like 2 clunkers arrived in a row, and I can't do it. Like, this is the skip for me. I like the little refrain on the chimes. It's a nice little melodic moment, but that's really kind of like the only thing here.
Also, there's this nice little synth or like keyboard flourish that happens. Like it's way in the background. It's just like this fluttering like arpeggio thing, and I don't know. I guess that's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this track. It's fine.
It's a song.
It's a very solid song. I like listening to it. Right
Yeah,
after
like
Paradise.
I think if this song came earlier, like if you swapped Every Day Every Night and this song, then this song wouldn't be my least favorite. My least favorite would be Every Day Every Night. Like, I think basically this track, Paradise, and Every Day Every Night for me are all kind of like the same song, if that makes sense. So it's not like I really rank any of them above the others. They all just kind of do the exact same thing emotionally for me, and they're all here.
And also, like, I'd say I'm a pretty good walker. So, like, I don't know if, like, I
can't
really
relate to the
this
song.
track, yeah. That's just me. That's fine. I do really enjoy the track, though. I'm not. I just want
I
to
don't believe
clarify
you,
if
Chris.
No, if people were worried that, like, I dislike this track, it's fine. It's cool.
Okay,
I like it.
are we moving on? Is anything else here?
I just really want to talk about 1, 2, 3, 4 and walking.
Okay.
So.
Well, speaking of Kensuke Ojima, this was not the only track that he wrote on the album. He also wrote 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes up for I Can't Walk Very Well. So yeah, the 10th track is called 1, 2, 3, 4.
笑いかけてねえ見てごらんそのまま外をさあ見てごらん
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
心配ないさ
And this is, I really think, like a very solid track. The album kind of picks up for its final stretch. This one opens with some very like 90s sounding synths and this pitch shifted vocal sample, which is kind of like out of character for the band. There's also plenty of like record scratches and assorted samples and some questionable sounding synth horns.
Yeah, this track has really got it all when you think about it. Synth horns and funky samples. I really think the band has played with samples before, and it's usually like pretty cool. But I think on this track, like I think one of the main highlights is the sampling that happens, like especially like near the middle of the track where it just sounds like Art of Noise. That's
Yes.
great part of it. Oh, that part's so cool.
I said it kind of sounds like Fatboy Slim and like some of these 90s like Plunderphonics people who were doing like this like very collage like sort of like pop art thing with their music. Like, because they're
Yeah.
throwing in like reversed vocals, like TV show clips, and the track ends with like a Stephen Hawking kind of like robot voice. It's just like they're
Yeah.
throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, and it's very
And everything
like
sticks.
everything sticks. Yes.
It's so
Do you guys
cool.
like how 90s the song sounds? Like, it's definitely one of the most dated Fishman songs, at least in terms of being instantly recognizable as like 90s music. Like, some people probably really hate the song because they don't think it's aged well, but I think here that's only partially true. Like, I think the vintage elements of this track are super charming.
Yeah, and that's the same for me. And because with plenty of the tracks here, I think I've already said that. Despite it being like, you know, very firmly in the 90s, I think it really works to great effect. I don't really have a problem with it. And in fact, I don't even know if I'd consider this one of the most 90s sounding tracks on the album. Maybe it is, but I don't know. It's cool. It's fine by me.
Nice. Chops, what are your thoughts?
Not a lot of thoughts on this one. I don't know. It's grown on me a lot because I don't know what it was. I think in the old days, everything about it would pile up into something that just struck me as kind of corny, like
Yeah.
the little 1, 2, 3, 4 sample, the horns, the everything. But now I'm just like, when the chords come in on the Rhodes or whatever it is, like some kind of electric piano.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, something clicks and it's just like suddenly something really mellow that like I could almost imagine it like being on a Roots album or something.
You
Yeah.
think? Oh, that's interesting.
I think like these final two tracks, like this one and Walk-In, kind of they play up a lot of like the cheesiest elements of the album so far, but they do it in a way that feels a bit
Yeah.
like more fun or like more like tongue-in-cheek.
No, also there is one thing I really want to note about this track. After re-listening to it for the first time in a while, I noticed there was a very striking similarity to another track. Only because of one little synth part, not the whole track at all, but it happens in the middle and it happens throughout the track. It's almost the same thing as the bass line to Baby Blue.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It's that like synthesizer kind of like fuzzy bass thing. It's like do 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 do. It's the same.
It's literally the same thing, yeah.
It's crazy. Just wanted to note that.
Yeah, I wonder
not
if
a
they were
problem.
aware of that and they like reincorporated it later because they liked it so much, or if it was just like subconscious, like, and they're ripping themselves off.
They're recording Baby Blue and they're like, wait, this sounds familiar. Oh, it's fine. It's probably nothing.
You gotta love artists sampling themselves, like Death Grips did it, and now Fishmans. I mean, I
only
guess
two
Fishmans
artists
would have
have
done it
done it.
first, but the only two bands. So yeah, this is like my third favorite track on the album. I think it's definitely kind of wild and there's a lot going on, so some people might not think it really like coalesces into something worthwhile, but for me, it works. It's wacky. It probably has more character than anything else on this album.
I think so. I think for me, it plays either third or second place.
Nice.
It's so cool. It's grooving. So much samples going on. A lot going for it, and a lot of it works. Awesome.
Cool. Which brings us to the penultimate track on the album, if you don't count the remix. This is track 11, Walkin'. So the baseball organ makes one final glorious appearance, and I'm not even complaining anymore because it's just like the main feature of this track. It's so cheesy, but it's like a great introduction to the song. This is the best song on the album, in my opinion. The tune is just so catchy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it was the same night when you were playing a few tracks. You had first listened to it, and I hadn't listened to it in a while because I'm like, oh, it's Neo Yankees. I don't want to listen to that. But you played a couple tracks and you played Walkin'. And I was like, I don't know how how this missed me, like so long before. It is so catchy, and of course it's like the cheesiest, most like cartoonish song on the album. However, it's also the best song on the album. So I think they really pulled it off real well on this track. It's so catchy.
The chorus is like life affirming. Like I feel just like triumphant when I listen to the song. And yeah, it like recycles some of the cheesiest elements of the album, but it turns them into something that's like new, despite sounding totally ridiculous while it does it. I think the moment when I realized that it's just like insane is there's this tuba sound that comes in behind the second verse.
Yeah.
And that's the point when the song has just won my heart. Like the song embodies the spirit of the monkey on the cover. Like he's just ridiculous and stupid,
walking.
but he's walking, he's persevering.
Oh
Yeah.
man, the guitar solo.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
such
So
Oh, what's up?
this, well, I mean, you could talk about it, but I was just gonna say it's like a great moment for Kensuke since he's leaving.
Oh yeah, it's he's walking out of the band. I don't think that's what they meant. No, it's cool because it sounds cool. It's also like a really like rudimentary, very simple like guitar solo, if that makes sense. Like yeah, there's these like he's like going up on the neck and stuff, but it's all like super easy. So it like sounds impressive, but it also works because it doesn't like it's not flashy or obnoxiously like, you know. I don't know if I'm really coming across here. I'm not trying
No,
to
it makes
like,
sense. Yeah, it's
I'm not
very
trying to
like
dig it for being
childlike,
simple.
and it's just.
I don't know. Yeah, it really works in the track. Like you wouldn't think a track like this needed a guitar solo, but then you hear the guitar solo, and you're like, this is exactly what the track needs. It's this guitar solo.
Yeah, also like the second chorus that comes in right after the guitar solo is probably my favorite moment of the track because Shinji's voice here like is cracking like ever so slightly, and it feels even more triumphant following the solo, but it's also just kind of sad. Like I don't know, this song makes me feel like some kind of way.
It feels like the last good time you'll have in a while, and that's why it feels so good. Yeah.
Like the end of childhood. Yeah. No, Chops, you seem to be like disagreeing that this was the best song, maybe, or you were like moaning.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm loving what you guys are saying about it. This is like Shinji made this for people to feel this way about it. I feel like so.
Oh man, that makes me feel so good.
But this is another. I just realized just now. This is another case where I like the lyrics more. I think.
I like the references to time.
I like the references to drinking out in the night, like, and just walking around and people thinking you're weird, saying, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love it. I don't know why. Like walking around with your cousin. I think it's about. It seems
Wow.
we walk just some good cousins. I don't think about anything. It's only good.
Aw.
Someone is saying, "What the heck?" But it can't be helped.
Is this album incestuous?
Oh, maybe Chris was right. Man.
Oh, no.
Well,
No.
you know, I
They're just
also
walking.
agree with Chris about like how the time is really cool. Like a lot of the different lyrics in the song, he's just saying like different times of the day, and like the different activities that they're doing. So it has this sort of like, I don't know, like the structure of the track is just very, very strong and very good. I feel like it sort of serves as like the Doyobi no Yoru of this album because it's like very close to the end, but it just comes in at like the final hour with like some really strong songwriting and a very catchy song. And it's also Chris and Maya's, I can't talk. It's our favorite song, so it's
and
walking.
like Doyobi no Yoru, it's also like it sounds like the rest of the album. It takes elements that you've heard throughout the album and it perfects them. It's the best example I can think of. Like with the other tracks, what they're trying to do, this is like the best example of that.
Yeah. I'm almost surprised that like this one wasn't the big hit instead of Ikareza, because this one just feels so much more immediate. But then again, this one is also a bit more like
Cheesy.
Western, I guess. Yeah, it feels like a song that like I don't know, like Oasis could have sung or something.
Oh, I guess so. But hey, Wonderwall is pretty big. So you would think.
This is the Wonderwall of Fishmans, honestly.
I don't know if that's true at all. But you know, it's fine. You could think that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Walkin'. It's so good. Anyway, have you guys heard the single version of the song? Because I couldn't find it, and I'm wondering if it's different or the same.
I
Nope.
have not. I think I've heard the B. Is the B side It's Be Alright? Is that what it is? No, it's not.
I think so,
I'm thinking-
or no, it's not. There's two B-sides to Walkin'. I think
Yeah.
they did like a redo of Locusts Are Flying, and there's also like something else on there.
I feel like I've seen that title before too. I don't know. I gotta re-listen to it.
Either way, well, I'm mainly just wondering if like the guitar solo is also on the single, because I feel like the guitar solo is placed here very intentionally as like a goodbye to Kensuke Ojima. So I'm just wondering like if early on, like if they knew he was leaving, or if it's kind of like a different version without the solo. So it'll be interesting to check that out.
Maybe I gotta check it out again because I know it's readily available for me, but I don't know. I guess I just never really thought about checking out those like older singles because I'm always just like, oh, you know, I know what the song sounds like. I don't need to listen to it, but
do
in
you?
reality, yeah, it's an error
So yeah,
on my part.
the final-ish track on the album and the 12th track is Supa, which is the Japanese word for supermarket. This is sort of like a brief, just like celebratory track to end the album. It kind of serves as like an outro to the vibes of Walkin'. Everyone's kind of just chanting together.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, great. It doesn't really. I don't know why it's there. It's neither my least favorite or my favorite track. It just kind of.
I wouldn't really count it as like a track.
Yeah, it's really fun. I really enjoy listening to it. I'm like, this is so silly. It's a great way to end the album if you don't count the remix. So that's one.
I was telling Chris earlier, it has the vibes of like a Damon Albarn album closer. Like a lot of the Blur and Gorillaz albums end with like these very short songs that are kind of like Blur albums end with like short songs that are just like instrumentals, and then like some Gorillaz albums end with just like really like afterthought tracks almost. So it's sort of like a coda instead of like an actual song. So I think that's sort of what he's doing here. So I mean, I'm like familiar with that, so that's why I enjoy this track. But I can see how some people might think it's like kind of slight and not really like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works that it is such like a celebratory track. It's it's only 2 minutes. It's fine. I don't have much to say about it. I just think it's cool. Nice way to just send things off,
Nice, but it's not over yet because we also have the Ikaretsu Baby Glittering Rewinder mix. Is Glittering Rewinder like a person? Is this a remix done by Zach or like who?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's a person. I think it's just the name of the mix.
Okay, so it's just a different mix done by the band. That's what I thought.
And I don't. It's
because it's not really like a remix. It really is just like a different mix of the song. Like it's a little bit punchier than the original, but there's really like minimal changes that are done to the actual structure of the track.
Yeah, which is why it's because I don't think it's like a bonus track at all. I think it's actually the end of the album, which is strange because if I remember correctly, it's like the longest song in the album, and it's just Ikaretsu Baby, just like kind of different.
It's a bonus track. It's a bonus track.
It functions as a bonus track, but I think it's I don't know.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, this is really the only Fishmans studio album that has like a separate mix on the end of the album. Like most of the other mixes and remixes were included on like the singles or like the mini albums.
Yeah.
I still prefer the relaxed vibes of the original Ikaretsu Baby, but this one is really cool too. I like how it is a bit like heavier and punchier.
That's true. Although to be fair, I don't really see. I don't know. I didn't hear too much of a difference between the two. Where I was like, it was different enough that I get why it was like a separate mix, but I don't know if it was different enough to like be put on the album.
You know why it's really on the album? Because this was their hit song and they were trying to capitalize on its success.
Oh man, why didn't I think of that?
They were like, let's just put another version at the back that's not really that different and maybe more people will buy the album.
Maybe more people will stream this song because it's 1993 and Spotify exists.
So yeah, that's the end of the album. It ends. It's an album.
Like some of the songs, the ending is kind of abrupt. You got Supa and then just this random remix, and it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
That was it.
Wow. So let's get into our top moments, songs, scoring things. So my top 3 songs, third would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very unique, very strange. 2 would be Smilin' Days, Summer Holiday. It's just such a groove, and it's very brief, but it's just like the vibe. And then number 1 is Walkin', like I said. Even though it kind of embodies a lot of the cheesiest parts of this album, it does so in a way that's just like very unironically beautiful and ridiculous. And my least favorite song, it's really just a tie between like I Can't Walk Very Well or Paradise or Every Day Every Night. Like they're just boring tracks that I forget about the second I'm done with the album.
Oh, man.
What about you, Chris?
For me personally, I guess number 3 or number 2. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna go confidently with this. I think my number 3 choice would be Running Man.
Nice.
That's a very good track. I think it's really grown on me, and I prefer it too because it's an excellent like 2-song run in the beginning, like Running Man, Ikaretsu Baby. Sure, Smilin' Days is fine, but like those 2 tracks are amazing. But I think now I prefer Running Man over Ikaretsu Baby. So That's going to take the spot. Running Man. Number 2, for me, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent track. Cool samples. Nice little groove. A lot of things happening, and a lot of them are awesome. My favorite is got to be Walking, for sure.
Love that.
And we all know why. We've talked about it enough.
Because it's perfect.
Yeah,
Cool. And
something like that.
Chops, your top 3 tracks.
Number 3. Sukarane Hito.
Oh,
Okay.
For sure.
Cool.
I don't know. Unpopular opinion, but I think our top 3s are going to be completely different. So, I don't know. This one just always struck me as really carefree. Didn't mind the sound of it at all. Like, love just, I don't know, pretty much everything about it, I guess.
fair enough.
Number 2, I mean, Ikarata Baby. Probably, I guess, the remix, to be honest, because I find, like, the original, obviously, it's, like, amazing song for them, but just, it was, like, lacking a bit of punch, I was found, so I don't know. I guess I would probably say the remix then.
Interesting, yeah.
Number 1, drum roll.
I don't have any
Nice.
drums on hand, but
Thank you. Number 1 is Running Man by a country mile. Running
Love
Man is
that.
like top 10 Fishmans.
Oh.
Like, period.
wow.
Running Man fucking is incredible. I always used to, I don't know, just sing along to that in the shower, but like it's got some really fucking hard high notes. But like I don't know how Shinji does it, to be honest, but like it's just, I don't know, everything about it's like magical. It's so breezy. It's got the harmonies. The rhythm is excellent, like it usually is. I don't know.
Yeah, everything
It's
about
Running
it.
Man. It's great.
I almost agree with you. Running Man's my 3rd choice, but that's close enough. I really love the track. I really
It's-
feel everything you're saying.
Yeah, it so sucks when an album starts with its best song.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think
fuck
on
it.
Kingmaster
Oh, well.
you also gave the
It's still
first song number 1, right?
Oh no, this is this is a trend. This is going to happen with at least one other album. I'll
Like
say that.
Fishman's album? Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is.
Wow,
I can think
Long
of
Season. The
at
first
least
track
one more.
is the best track because it's the only track.
Oh, you caught me.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I know why Shinji is able to sing so high. It's probably because he listened to Swans and he realized that castration was a good idea, and he did that.
Yeah.
Specifically public castration. Okay, so I don't know if you guys had like moments, but I have top 3 moments. My 3rd moment was Shinji's groan in Taheyu. I just wanted to represent Taheyu in my list. I think
fine.
it's underrated, and I think his groan is a defining part of this album. The 2nd one was the crazy guitar and like horn breakdown in the middle of Smilin' Days. And number 1 is that guitar solo of Walkin'. It's just like amazing, and it's a nice send off to Kensuke Ojima.
Man, thanks, Kensuke. I don't know if I've really thought out too clearly like my moments, but I can definitely think of a couple. I think the Art of Noise section, that's just what I'm gonna call it. In 1,
The
2,
Art
3,
of
4.
Noise
That little
section.
breakdown with those like samples and that snare hit. Oh, always gets me. I think the like those harmonized vocals in Running Man and like the verses. I know that's not like a specific moment, but whenever those happen, oh man, it's wonderful. I guess if I had to pick a 3rd one,
Come on, Chris. You got it.
probably
When the album
You got it,
ends,
Chris.
I was gonna say the moment that Taheyu ends, and I'm like, thank God.
there we go.
I'm just joking.
That's valid. You're valid.
I think I don't know. I think that key change that happens in Walkin', so that like after the guitar solo, it's that chorus, but now it's even higher, and like Shinji's like hitting those notes. I don't know. Just when it hits that moment, that's when everything just kind of comes together, and it's so powerful, and it's Walkin'. You know
It's
what I mean?
Walkin'. You know what you
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Did you have any moments, Chops?
I just formulated them in my head right now because I forgot completely about it.
Nice.
2 of them are from the same
Oh.
song. Number 3, I'm gonna say when the chords come in on 1, 2, 3, 4 on the electric piano.
I like that. That would probably be
That
still
is
out there for me.
that yeah, in that 1 second that makes the whole song make sense for me, I guess. Number 2, the sample at the end in the like Art of Noise section where it's it must be a sample from reggae, or like it's a Jamaican dude speaking something. I don't know why, but that sounds so fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
In context, it's just like I don't know. And number one, the part right at the end of Running Man, where it goes into the Sekai wa boku no mono no sa part. The like Sekai de.
Oh.
Something
okay,
about
yeah.
that. It's just like a big final hit of like endorphin from that song. So
Wonderful choice.
that is probably my number one of the album
Wow.
for sure.
Love
I
it.
like all of those
And
choices.
What score would you give the album, Chops?
I've had it at like 4 stars for ages, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 7.
Oh.
Okay.
Cause yeah, it is a bit on the boring side. I've like fond memories of it because I went on a nice holiday to it one time after a really stressful college term. But nah, it's kind of boring. So yeah, 7.
Nice.
What about you, Chris?
For me, kind of the opposite happened. For a while, I had it as 7, and I was like, that's good. I think I thought like the same as Chops. It's kind of boring. Whatever, I forget about it. It's at an 8 for me right now, and kind of like what Ray's said before, where like the highlights on this. Like I think my least favorite tracks are like some of my least favorite moments, but my favorite tracks in here are like up there for some of my favorite Fishmans tracks. So it really balances out well. I think it balances more on the positive side. Definitely a very confident 8 out of 10 for me.
Nice. Yeah, no, I find myself agreeing with both of you. Like, I think that thing about, like, the highlights of this album being some of the best Fishmans tracks is true, whereas some of the weaker points are truly, like, not fun for me.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm with Chops here, where, like, I used to have it at an 8 out of 10, but upon a re-listen, I lowered it to a 7, just because, like, there are enough moments in between that I just truly don't enjoy. So I couldn't really justify having it at an 8. So yeah, I would probably say that this is the weakest Fishman's studio album, in my opinion. Like, I think Chappie is a little bit better just because it's more consistent. Like, Chappie doesn't nearly have all these high points for me, but I would just, like, I'm able to sit down and listen to all of Chappie without really skipping anything, except for maybe, like, Good Morning. Whereas here there would be, like, 3 tracks that I want to skip.
Fair enough. Yeah, I feel like also Chappie has just got... I guess it just goes with what you're saying about it being consistent, like the vibe of it. I don't know, I can just sit back and just enjoy everything that's happening. Nothing really bothers me about it. It's just an excellent, it's Chappie. So yeah, for me...
Chappie's kind of trapped in, like, the conventions of its genre, but that's a bit more timeless than this album, which is trapped in, like, the conventions of a decade.
Yeah. Very much agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Least favorite Fishmans album.
I feel like, yeah, it's ultimately the most undercooked and inconsistent Fishman's release, but yeah, it suffers from a lack of vision and some questionable production choices, which is interesting because I feel like Zach would later become, like, an integral member of the band, and, like, the production is such a huge factor of, like, why people enjoy their music, but early on, maybe there was, I don't know, they hadn't built that, like, that relationship yet.
Honestly, I think, because earlier we were talking about people comparing Fishmans to Radiohead, I guess it's another parallel. And I guess the same with, like, I don't know, the Beatles. I forgot what that dude's name was, but the producer that works with Radiohead a lot, I forgot his name. It's like Nigel Godrich or something.
Yeah, no, I know him, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's something else. That's
Last
cool.
episode we talked about Life of Pablo. This week we're talking about Pablo Honey. So, yeah, I think that about wraps it up. This wasn't quite as extensive of an episode as Kingmaster, but there's a lot less to talk about with this album. So, yeah, if everything goes smoothly over the next month and there isn't, like, a civil war and rioting in the streets, you should expect to see our episode on Orange going up sometime during April. During May. This one's going up during April. Never mind. Unless we want to record to get through the quarantine, we'll see. We're also going to be opening up our first round of polls during the Orange episode. We're going to let all of the listeners vote on your favorite tracks from the early period of Fishmans, and we'll be going over the results in our episode on O Mountain. So these episodes are going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it and getting some, like, listener feedback finally in terms of people's favorite Fishmans tracks. As always, you can find us on Instagram at Fishmans Podcast. Chris also created a Twitter page for us recently.
Finally.
The handle for that one is The Fishcast. Was Fishmans Podcast taken or what?
I think so. I don't know. I could change it. Worst case scenario.
Is there another Fishmans Podcast? No, it's fine. It's The Fishcast.
It's the FISHCAST, yeah.
We were the first and foremost Fishmans Podcast, but that doesn't mean we're the best. You can also email us at fishmanspodcast@gmail.com. And then personally, you can find me at A Giant Fish on Instagram. What are y'all's plugs?
Mine is, I hate having to say this every episode.
You
Might
gotta
have
do
to
it.
change it one of these
You gotta
days.
plug it.
My Instagram is gonk, Gonk, aka mantis. Gonk, aka mantis. That's me. Chops, go ahead.
Mine is 1 piano river.
All one word.
Love that.
All one word, baby.
So yeah, until next time, stay inside. Remember to wash your hands and keep staying
Stay
fishy.
There you go.